picture speaks thousands words. We all have heard. Mr. Table Topic, fellow Toastmasters, and most welcome guests. Coming to the question again, we heard that picture speaks thousands words. What do we mean for seeing this picture?
India.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I heard many answers. So rightly said it's India. So it looks like, we call it like Mother India. You see the head, the hand, and you stand here. That's your Mother India. Now, Diwali is a festival. It's festival of lights. So, if we see through a satellite, India at night on the day of Diwali, it would look something like this. All glittery. So more about the festival of light, Diwali. Diwali is a festival of light. We lit lamps, we lit candles, and now with the advent of technology, we have tea lights. So we can see the result of the tea light as well. It's glowing and blooming. It's actually called Deepavali, which is like, if we see and elucidate more on what it means, and we break up Deepavali, Deep means lamp, and Avli means clay. So these are clay lamps. These clay lamps are put outside our home, which will be tomorrow is Diwali at our place, with the significance that these lights, which are lit outside, they will glow the inner beauty and inner spiritualness, and it will protect us from spiritual darkness. That's the significance of the festival of Diwali. We know we have around 4,000 cities in India, and rich and very varied culture in India. So every state has their own reasoning why Diwali is celebrated. The state, I'll just share my state, why my state celebrate Diwali. Lord Rama, he came back to Ayodhya from after he killed demon Ravana, which means that he had a triumph over good had a triumph over evil. Again, an inner beauty or the inner spirituality is enhanced. So we talked about its significance. We talked about why celebrated. The fun part comes how it is celebrated. It's celebrated when we pray our offerings to Goddess Lakshmi, which we call as Goddess Lakshmi, that is goddess of wealth, enlightenment, and prosperity. We all want that. Wealth, prosperity, good luck. Back to my childhood, I remember my father used to put Goddess Saraswati next to Lakshmi. And I used to wonder, by the time I had courage and I had a lot of strong voice to talk to my father about it, why Goddess Saraswati? He mentioned that Goddess Saraswati symbolizes education. She symbolizes wisdom. If you have the blessings of Goddess Lakshmi with you, and if you have a blessing of Saraswati with you, which is Goddess of education, everything will fall into its own pace. You don't have to worry about anything. I'm still carrying her with me here in States. I have my Lakshmi as well, which is for prosperity. Who don't want that? But I also have my Goddess Saraswati with her. We'll be praying and we'll be doing all the offerings tomorrow, which is that in India. On next note, traditionally we lit lamps outside our homes, candles, tea lights. Then comes our scrumptious food, which takes almost 4 to 5 days to cook. Those scrumptious food is, I will not say, next we can see on my waistlines. So it's like that. We have like all the fried food, this much big of pan, and it's all set. So more of workout. I'm just looking forward to it, but I'm not thinking about that. On next note, on the last day of the festival, this is a 5-day festival. On the last day of the festival, we offer 56 type of foods to God, in honor that you are doing everything just to honor God. Now, if we start calculating our monthly budgets and making 56 type of food, at least not in US, at least I cannot think, not even in India, Nobody can make 56 type of food. You have to do monthly budget. We will have to keep for 13 months in a year then. You have to make that budgeting. So what we do is we make a paycheck to the temple and we make a small donation. And the temple makes 56 kind of food and they do offer it to the God over there. It's a community effort, so it's kind of a social event as well. There's a fun part. The last part is the fun part is the crackers, the firecrackers, which we play. After our offering our prayers, after eating all the food, which I'm looking forward to tomorrow, we burn the firecrackers, which is the most fun part. Secretly, I was waiting, when I was kid, I was waiting that once everything is done, the prayer and the food, I will have this opportunity. I never mentioned it to my parents, but I was secretly waiting that let the moment come. Alas, this time in India, government has banned it. Government has banned to play firecrackers in India. Are they jealous of people enjoying the firecrackers? What's the reasoning behind it? They have a very strong reason, and that is very completely justified. To name few, one is pollution. The smog which is on the sky, it has nitrates, carbon monoxides, it's too poisonous. And think of the asthmatic people. Secondly, the noise pollution, a very important part and my favorite part, used to be the bombs. They are like woven into green bundles and they make a blast sound. I really enjoy it. And especially I used to burn near the neighbor's house whom I didn't like much. But now what's happening? It creates noise pollution. And think about the flurry friends. They get distressed. They get anxious. They hid behind the couch. They don't eat anything. Or worst of all, they bark whole night just to ensure and to tell the master that everything is going okay or not outside. Not justified for somebody who cannot speak. Moreover, what about the garbage? In past two speeches here in Toastmasters, we heard about how much garbage we are moving into the ocean. And it's causing harm to the sea creatures. One city in India on the night of Diwali causes 4,000 metric tons of garbage just from crackers. We have 4,000 cities. So we can do the maths. It will drive us insane. So how to combat the fun part and to follow the rules is like we do it here in US. We go to a small place, big place, and in limited amount of time, and we enjoy it. What not to do there? You can make a trade-off, right? So above all, nonetheless, besides a ban, I'm still looking forward tomorrow. So thank you, Mr. Jigula.
Please write favorite feedback on our second speaker is Elena. Reading her objectives is to evaluate John.
Yes, tonight I will be giving 5 books in the complex communication campaign. John is saying, her objectives are to select the right words and sentence structure and communicate her ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize ideas, eliminate jargon and unnecessary words, use correct grammar. 5 to 7 minutes.
The title of her speech is Giving Back. This is project number 4, how we say it. She's providing feedback from our key roles as a Toastmaster and so it's an art. It is one easy steps, and she will discuss it with us tonight. Please welcome